Okay, today is September 13th, 2016, and right now at 10:30 p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a temperature of 54 degrees. The relative humidity is 86%. We have a dew point of 50 degrees, and the barometer is reading 29.95, and that's up a little bit. And what we're seeing here in the map, this hurricane, Orlene, has been weakened. The storm is only moving at 1 mile per hour right now. Let's go ahead to take a look at the hurricane center map, and we can see that Orlean is now a Category 1, 85 mile per hour winds. This was up at 110 mile per hour winds yesterday. All right, so this storm is now only moving 1 mile per hour, and I believe the reason for that is we have high pressure that's been installed right in this area. That is stalled hurricane. It's basically surrounded by high pressure. We can see the outline here in the water vapor map. We still have a stream heading to the east of water vapor, moisture field right here, which is winding into the center of that low pressure system, the core of that system. This was the low that was sitting over California for several days as a dry low. And as this thing has moved to the east, we see that it's rebuilt. It is a surface to upper level low pressure system. And also we have this storm up here. This is a big storm. We can take a look at that on the right here on the surface analysis map. We can see that that storm is now a 976 millibar storm. Right here, it's moving to the east, and we still have a lot of high pressure in the East Pacific. That's always the case. And we have low pressure indicated down here. We have this hurricane, which is moving to the west. They're indicating a westbound movement here on this, but it's actually stalled. So this is the storm we're going to keep an eye on for right now, and also the hurricane. The hurricane will probably be killed off. Let's go back to the map, and we've got several things going on. So I think they're going to have to kill this hurricane off. They're not going to run it through Baja and up this way because we've got this storm here, this low pressure system. This is not really a storm, but moving this up in that direction would cause a lot of problems at this point. So, and they're not going to move it. They can't move it to the west because we have this low pressure right here developing. We can see this is trying to spin counterclockwise, and we have this system. So they are facing a sort of a conundrum where this storm is being wound down. So there we will see this storm diminish. It'll be killed off. We can see a blast pattern all the way around that storm. So this is being weakened with microwave. Let's take a look at this moisture field in the IR map. This one right here, which was streaming right into Baja, California. And we can see that there's a disruption right here where all this high pressure has been installed right there. Let's take a look in the IR map. We can see that things are breaking up right in this area. Okay, now in the LA area, we actually had rain last night, very, very light rain into the evening, overnight hours, and the totals were around 0.16 inches of rain. So that's the official amount. That's the first amount of rain that we have had in the foothills for the season, which started on July 1st. All right, so right now there's very little rain falling in California. The transmitters that are located along the boundaries of California, these surface transmitters are preventing the rain, and we can take a look at that in the some of these other maps. We do see that the center of this low is right on the border there, but if we take a look at the Intellicast map, let's refresh that real quick. And this is the Hawaii map real quick. We can see that Hawaii is getting some rain out there. We'll take a look at that later. But in the meantime, let's take a look quickly at the West Coast and California. And we can see that there is very little rain. Actually, right now there's none. Here about an hour ago, we were seeing some returns up in the High Sierra area. But there's nothing there as this low moves out to the east. Okay, so while this was over California, we saw very little moisture, and as it moves to the east, we can see there's a transmitter amplifying the problems here. We have all of this heat, which is being generated by a microwave transmitter. All this dark area is high pressure. We see clockwise rotation right here. We have a blockade right where the pen is. And we see that, let's go back to the big map. This jet stream flow right here is just mushrooming right into that wall of high pressure. This has been installed. This is what I call an electronic fence. And that is preventing this moisture field from moving right straight into this moisture field, which is feeding that. And also we've got this hurricane. So there's a lot of manipulation required to maintain some semblance of equilibrium. So we have a separation here, which is preventing the moisture from this storm from getting into this flow, which is winding right into the center of that storm there, that low pressure. Also, similarly, we see a blockade, a channel of set up here. This was installed to prevent this south flow. We have a southbound flow as well, since this jet stream cannot move in a straight direction. It cannot move, so it's mushrooming. Part of it's going to the left and winding back into this storm, and the other half is diving down towards the Hawaiian Islands, which are we've got a transmitter right in this area, and we can see that there's a lot of evaporation right here, and then we have something here trying to spin up. And that will have to be dealt with. We can see that some of this will get caught into the eastbound moisture field right here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we can see that moisture field right here, which is just stopping, just like running into a wall right there. That's exactly what's happening. You have high pressure installed. The weather controllers are in charge. All right, now here's the East Pacific water vapor loop. We can see this Hurricane Orlene. There's a large blast pattern. The shape of the core is disrupted. We can see a geometric shape, a straight edge there on the last frame. Let's go ahead and stop that at the right there. Look at that straight edge right there, and the blast pattern. Okay, here is the infrared loop, and there's a partial eye wall at the beginning of this right there in the middle of that loop. We can see a eye wall reform, and as it's targeted with microwave energy, the convective process is disrupted, and the eye wall is no longer visible. All right, now here's the visible light mode, and we can see some photoshopping after the day to night transition. So they are covering up, they're hiding, concealing the dimple marks on the core of that storm. All right, now here's the SSEC water vapor map, and we can get an idea of what's happening here over California. Now, there were no chemtrails today in the skies. Actually, the air was very nice today. All over the LA basin, we had real clouds, very nice natural cumulus clouds. It was damp, and all over the place, wherever you were, you didn't have to be at the beach. but the air smelled like we were right at the beach. It was a nice marine, very clean air, just really nice. And it'd be really wonderful. It was like if it was like that many more days of the year, because most of the time, everybody living here, our noses are running and burning, sinuses are burning, and that's because of the chemtrails that are being sprayed in these moisture fields as they move on shore. But as we can see, this moisture field is moved down because of all this high pressure that's out here that's been installed. So this moisture field is moved south. It's been dropped down, and we can see that before this last night. This was running right into sort of into the San Diego and the border area right there. Okay, and we see this big storm out here. All right, now here's the ocean swell report. We can see that hurricane is generating, Orlean right here is generating 32-foot swells right in the core, right near the eye wall. We're getting 32-foot swells, and then off of California, we've got 8-foot seas. All right, let's take a look at some of these pressure maps. We have the sea level pressure map, and we can see low pressure right over part of California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona right here. We've got high pressure out here in the East Pacific. We've got the hurricane down here, and we have the storm. The 500 millibar, we have this low, which is spinning, moving out to the east. And we've got low pressure all through this area as well, indicated. High pressure right up to the north of that low. And then we have the 300 millibar map, and we have low pressure out here. And we have this flow that's moving right into Baja, California, and out. And then we have this upper level low. So there's a lot of opportunity for rain, but it's not really generating any rain for California once again. Here is the southwest water vapor map. And we have California right here. We can see that there's nothing getting into California. It's all been pushed south by this high pressure. And we can see some chemtrails right here. Look at this, right at the very last few frames. That's all chemtrail spraying right there. Because we have the hurricane. This is the leading bands, or the outermost bands of this hurricane Orlean right here. And so some of that moisture is getting is merging with this eastbound high-speed flow. This is sort of a pineapple express. We can see that this flow is diving down below the Hawaiian Islands and then moving sort of northerly towards the up towards Baja. And so that's what we're seeing there. We have a merging of this moisture field. So we have a lot of chemtrail activity. If you go back to the SSEC map, let's get this, see if we can catch this over here. Right over here is where we're looking. And there's a lot of chemtrails being sprayed right in this area over Mexico. This will eventually end up in New Mexico. So if you're out in New Mexico, expect to see a lot of chemtrails probably tonight and tomorrow. All right, so that is the report, and we will go ahead and do another update tomorrow. And I do have some more 9/11 information, and we'll cover that again hopefully in the next couple of days. Okay, that's it.